Hey people, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're not new. Let's get into it. We had a full moon today, last night, at 2 something a.m. Major full moon, pure chaos out there, lots of forward movement, lots of everything. It's pretty much the part two of what I was saying not too long ago, last week actually. A mixed match of everything in terms of energies, in terms of everything. Some people are feeling very at peace, laid back, things are great, things are finally looking up for them. It looks like things are finally working out for them and they're moving forward. Everything is chill, everything is good, and for others, it's just chaos. So, for those that are more on the quiet side, they're still feeling and seeing chaos. They're still dealing with all that crap out there. They're still dealing with people's attitude. That's a huge thing going on right now. And it's all about the ego. People's ego are being triggered and people are acting out. They're lashing out, basically. And even though you feel, for the group that is feeling, finally, I can start breathing, I can start focusing on me and just, I can see the rewards of my efforts. I can see why I had to go through all of this, why I needed to do all of this. It feels different, it feels lighter, it feels like a more loving energy. Even though they're dealing with people's chaos, they kind of are somewhat immune to it because they're so high vibration that they are completely in a different dimension. And they are starting to see all kinds of stuff. Everybody, for that matter, like magic. If you don't believe in magic, this is the month to have proof, to start believing in it, and to start believing in what our eyes cannot see. In other realms, in spirituality, in spirits, in whatever is not explained by science, whatever is not tangible, whatever you cannot touch or see, but only what you can feel and sense or see with your mind's eye, with your third eye, and not your physical eyes. This is the month for this, and it's already started. I've been witnessing a lot of things. People have been reporting stuff to me, like having the same dreams, two people having the same dream within 24 hours of each other, but exactly the same dream with the same message in it. People starting to see colors and energies and expressing themselves in different ways, saying, that's weird, each time I see you or each time I touch you, I have this image coming up to me, or I have this symbol coming up to me. I see colors, I see spots of colors. All of this to see and to show that people, every human being on earth, is just moving forward and awakening further and deeper. Like I haven't said that before. Everything that, let me not use the word everything because it's not quite accurate. Almost everything, like the majority, let's put it this way, of stuff that very down to earth people, very pragmatic people don't believe in, don't want to believe in, don't want to be interested in, is starting to take a higher ranking, a higher place in everyday life, in people's life. And we are witnessing this. We are seeing this. We are experiencing such a change in energies and it's so new, energies we've never been in before, never known. If we look at astrology, where the placements of the planets never been this way before. Um, there's also a retrograde going on. I think it's Mercury, or about to go on, that usually brings all kinds of like weird things. But aside from that retrograde, magic, unbelievable stuff, unbelievable things, things that can only be explained with and by spirituality, like pure magic or pure glitches in the matrix, like of what, am I losing my mind? I thought, all this time I was seeing this when in fact it's this. Or what, did I snap out for like a second or two because like I'm in the same conversation with someone but we're on a totally different subject, as if you lost track of time. Yeah, in those moments where the energies are so high, this is when time does weird stuff. And yeah, so the rise of spirituality, the rise of the feminine energy, of what science doesn't want to see yet. Yet, some people, some scientific people, when they apply the math behind what's the word I'm looking for? Behind like unexplainable situations and things in life, they realize and they understand that it's all the same. It's all scientific anyway. So if you follow me on social media, if you go to my Facebook page, I posted a video from the channel. They call us channelers, and it's with Nassim Aramin, and he explains that, and he explains what he goes through from time to time, and I can totally relate to that. Weird things happen to me as well. Weird things as if what was I doing like 2 seconds ago? I totally and completely lost my train of thought or like consciousness for like 2 seconds. And now it feels like I'm in a different reality. And mind you, if someone out there is listening to me right now and doesn't believe in this stuff, you probably think that I'm crazy. And so be it. This is my reality and the reality of millions of people on earth at this time, at the same time. So many people are reporting stuff like that. It's either we're all crazy and nuts, or we're all seeing and experiencing the same or pretty much the same things, right? I've stopped asking myself questions. I just surrender. This is it. I've been experiencing these weird phenomena for decades now. I've stopped trying to find the absolute answers, and I just rely on spirituality, my intuition, what my gut is telling me, what my inside message is saying. Because that's the whole purpose of being alive, is to listen to that message, listen to that voice, connect to it, and never disconnect. Because as soon as you disconnect, something horrible happens. Something bad, something negative. And I've experienced that this week, but I was able to turn it around. Again, focusing on spirituality. I did not listen to my intuition in the specific situation because I was tired of pushing through and pushing forward. I was totally drained out. And I said, you know what, just fuck it. But inside of me, there was something telling me you should do this, you should do that. And I did not do it. And it turned very quickly against me. But I was able to turn it to a neutral position where nobody was losing, nobody was winning. Just make it neutral. Nobody's paying the price for this. And at least it was, good in that way. So for these people that are feeling high vibrational, they're feeling, wow, my body's changing. I'm losing weight. It feels like my clothes are bigger and it feels like I'm lighter. It feels like my body's lighter. My dreams are vivid. My thoughts are vivid. I think about something and then it happens not too long after. Well, congratulations. You've made it this far in the game. Some people will call this the fifth dimension. I'm not into labels, so whatever. You've made it to that level, right? And it's a good space to be. It's a good place to be at this time, and it's a good place to start experimenting and exploring new things for yourself, new realities, a new way of doing things. We have a new operation system going on in those energies and in those vibrations. And if you're not there yet, don't get discouraged. You will get there. It's only a matter of cleansing and releasing those energies that are no longer helping you at this time. Those energies that are keeping you from accessing that level. One way to know that you've made it through is when you look at your past and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been through this, through that. And it feels like you're totally detached. It feels like it belongs to a different life or a different you, a different part of you. And you no longer resonate with the pain or the vivid emotions and feelings that those situations created in you. That's a huge sign that you've healed and that you are able to surrender and just release. And this is what the full moon, is all about, accessing that level. So some people will experience that a few days before the full moon. Others, it will be after. And sometimes it's weeks after. It doesn't matter when it happens. What matters is that it happens and that we let it happen. It's for our highest good. And at this point, anybody who's resisting their highest good will run into problems very quickly, very drastically. It's as if the universe is telling you, you want to resist? Fine, we're going to serve you much like more density so that you can get fed up to the point where you have no more energy to resist and you have no other choice but to surrender. So imagine, what is that doing for the divine masculine? They are absolutely being served. They are absolutely dealing with fears of that unknown, of that empty space that is being created in their lives. And mind you, that empty space is necessary for everyone to move forward to where they're supposed to be. If you don't leave that space empty, it means most of the time for most people that you're filling it with junk and with stuff that you really don't need to be carrying on your shoulders at this point. So yes, the divine masculine are being served, dealing with fears. Lots of fears are lingering around. And it's fear of the unknown, fear of the past repeating itself, fear of not being heard, not being understood, not being loved unconditionally. So if you are mostly dominant in your feminine, divine feminine energies, embodying the unconditional love, the passion, the compassion, and the just openness of things, openness of these energies will help not only yourself, but everyone that you will come in contact with, or that you've been in contact with, or that you will be in contact with. In the unified field, everything is linked, everything is related, everything is one, past, present, future. So that's why at this point, a lot of people are reporting weird things happening in their lives. Being with their friends and having the same vision at the same time, having the same dream, like I was saying, having the same weird sensation or vibration, or like being in the same vibe. Like those synchronicities are extremely powerful at this point. Extremely. Pay attention to what you see. Pay attention to the words that you hear, not what you see specifically with your eyes, but what you can sense in the vibe of things. Mind you, if you're dealing with someone who's not being true, their body is gonna show you everything and everywhere they're not being authentic. And that's very easy to spot, very easy to sense and to feel. But for those that are in similar vibrations or that are together at this point on a friendship level or romantic level or whatnot, doesn't matter, who are together at this point, it's for a reason, and it's to level up to the next level of vibration and to work together as a team, as we're all one. So I help you, it helps me, I help myself, it helps you, right? It's always, it's like you can picture the infinity sign. If you can understand the divine symbols and meaning of those symbols, life is going to be easier through certain situations. It's the mirror effect. Everything is a mirror effect. So if we look at the infinity sign, it's to the infinite, right? So what goes around comes around. What you put out there comes back to you, no matter which way you're doing it, whether it's outward when helping someone or when it's helping yourself. It will have the same effect, a positive one. Therefore, if you're not ready to help other people, you must, and it's an absolute must, help yourself first. Because if you're not sturdy enough, if you're not grounded enough, if you're not clean enough, that's not the word I want to use, but if you're not, like, if you haven't released enough stuff, you won't be able to help other people. You're only going to trigger them even more. It starts with you, and you're going to see, you're going to feel that shift happening in your life. People are going to come to you naturally and easily. Animals, pets, strangers. Things will start happening on a level that you've probably never been in before, like pure magic. Like, ta-da, here it is. You know, you've asked for this not too long ago, or you've been asking for this for years now. Ta-da, here it is. So if you're there, congratulations once more. You've made it. Keep at it. Keep working at it. It's a beautiful place and space to be. If you're not, don't worry. Keep at it. Keep moving forward, and you will get to that space. You just need to release. Enjoy this moment. Take this full moon to do that. We're releasing and cleansing on all levels. Physically, spiritually, mentally, on all levels. And you may start to feel this, like your energy is different physically. You feel the vibe in a different way. You feel as if you can touch energies. For those that are there, you understand what I mean. If you're not there, maybe that sounds crazy to you, but you'll get it. So don't give up. Don't you dare giving up. It's okay to have a day where we feel less than, but the next day, just show up. Just show up and be your best. Put your best foot forward and keep at it. Things are going to change. So for the Divine Masculine, this full moon, pretty hard on them. Not all of them, but for those that are in need of surrendering. They're pushed into facing their fears. Why am I afraid of this? Why, when I'm thinking about this, I get fidgety, I get anxious? What can I do to change it? And these are the things that they weren't doing before. They were just afraid before, and they were able to just skip it, bypass it, and do something else, everything else or anything else, not to think about this and not to face it. Now they have to face it. They absolutely do. There's no rope for them to run. There's no space for them to run. So they're facing it. And you may be feeling this if you're in a twin flame connection. You may be feeling all kinds of sensations and emotions related to fear, related to this is making me feel uneasy. And that can stem from this life or past life. At this point, really, all I want to say is who cares where it's coming from? The only thing that matters is to face it and walk through it and just, pierce it, pop the bubble so that it can stop playing in the background. And talking about background, this full moon brings this background of chaos, like I mentioned at the beginning. Usually when that happens, it's always a sign of a huge change. And at this point, it's hard to see what's going to happen. It's hard to see how it will turn out. It all depends on what we'll make as a choice, what we'll decide for ourselves. So trying to predict anything is pretty useless at this time because it's hard to see. It's just like a chaotic cloud of energy, and it's seeing clearly through that is not the best thing to do. It's not the right time. It's the time to work and just release. And that chaos shows up in many, many different ways. In people, it's always about facing their own internal demons and voids. And usually people don't like to do that. Their ego doesn't like to do that. So it makes them aggressive, passive aggressive, narcissistic. It makes them feel triggered for just about anything. Selfish. That's pretty big, in a conversation when someone is just hogging the conversation instead of being a mutual exchange of words and meanings and feelings. Well, these days it's on the menu a lot to have these kinds of conversation when the other person is just hogging. You want to say something, you barely have time to place 2-3 words that they start again with their own stories. Try not to get triggered from that. Just being compassionate and unconditional love, thinking obviously they need to express themselves, but obviously they need support and they need love and they need to see clearly through this. So if you feel it's the right time to do some spiritual work with these people, go ahead and do it. But if you feel that it's not, just walk away. Listen and then, put your boundaries when it's time to put it so that you can respect your own pace, your own energy, and so that you don't become deflated. And it's okay to not pick up the phone when someone calls you. That kind of situation these days are pretty popular. Other than that, the chaos on the roads, chaos at work, at sleep, physically, like chaos in every aspect that you can think of. So it's like the storm before the sun. And that is coming. So not the only thing, because there was never only one thing, but one of the best things to do is to stay grounded. Stay connected to yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Don't be hard on yourself and just respect what your body is asking from you. More rest, go meditate. More food, change your food. especially in vibrations and energies like this one. Usually that's where we start craving things that we don't normally eat. It's either our body will ask for higher vibrational foods, more water, more fruits, more veggies, more natural foods. And usually that's where we start creating new habits in all forms, right? So going back to that chaos, just stay grounded. Meditate more if you need to. I know I need to these days. And sometimes it's just a short, quick meditation in the car, in the street, whatever, just closing my eyes, scanning my body. What is going on in my body? Is this mine? Yes, no, okay, no, bye, get out. It's mine, fine. I need to process this. Do I have time now? Yes, no, no, okay, I'll do it later. And making sure that you get to it later is really important. Otherwise, you're creating a backlog for yourself, and that's where usually people crash. That's where they go into the burnouts, you need to process it. So the more you can do it in real time, the better it is, but it's not always doable, especially when we work. We can't always do that. So at night, before going to sleep or the next day in the morning, make sure to take a look at it, to process it, to really pinpoint, okay, this is mine. This is my personal chaos. What can I do about it? What is it about? What is it trying to tell me? What is it trying to teach me? Where am I not seeing something that I should see right now? And what should I change? The how should I change it should come last, because sometimes we don't know and we need to try and fail and make a mistake for us to realize, and that's fine. That's okay. Sometimes we just don't know, and we don't know mentally. We just need to let our body and our intuition and our heart guide us, and then we just start doing it. And we're like, oh my God, I've never done this before, but look how easy I'm doing it. So this is the best energies to experiment all these things and let other people deal with their own chaos. We're not here to give a piece of each other to someone who's not willing to help themselves. That can sound pretty harsh, but not everybody wants to help themselves. I know a lot of people are hurting badly and deeply, but they refuse to let go of the resistance. They refuse to just surrender. Therefore, they're making it hard on themselves to be helped. It's just like I was talking about narcissistic energies. Most mental therapists say that there is nothing to do with narcissistic people. They cannot be healed because they always run away, they always hide, they always resist, they refuse to see. For them, they have no problem. It's all other people around who have the problem. And it's true in a way, but they refuse to see what they're doing and their issues and their own pattern. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that and just go back to respect your pace, your energy, and put boundaries where you need to put boundaries. This full moon is intense for everyone, and it's to bring new things. It's to help us move forward, and the universe is there. It has our back. And it in all ways, if we're clinging and hanging on to something that we shouldn't, the universe will show us and will just make it harder and harder on us to keep hanging on to this thing. It's much easier to just surrender and embrace change and just be like, okay, this thing or this person needs to fall off my life. I let it. And this person needs to get into my life. I let it. Surrender. 0 point. Being at neutral. Follow yourself, your own message inside. The divine masculine is working on that, trying to make sense of all of this, trying to make sense of what needs to come in their lives. Because a lot of them have been stripped away from so many things that some of them are still processing that, still trying to make sense and understand of why they needed to go through all of that or lose all of these people and things. And now they're like, okay, but what else? What is next? What should be here instead? What do I want? So if on the other end you are in a twin flame connection and you're feeling, I don't know what I want, and it feels like I'm lost. Maybe you're feeling your twin flame going through this, reinventing themselves to align with their own authenticity and divinity. And it's a huge step for a lot of them because they were so into the ego pattern of this is how life should be, coming, from society, from parents and whatnot. But this is how life should be. This is how my life should be. This is how my life is going to be. And now none of that is like present. It's all chaos for them. So trying to see through that density of nonsense is not always easy, but it's part of spiritual awakening. And if you've been through that, you know exactly what it feels like, those moments where you're like, hell, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I look at myself in the mirror and I have a feeling of seeing a stranger, or I used to like doing this kind of things, activities, and it doesn't bring me joy anymore. And I don't understand why, because I do like it. That void, that rock bottom void. That's where they're at, and they're going through this, dealing with their own issues, because the mirror is right in their faces, as if the universe is telling them, look, dude, it's time. Tapping on their shoulders, saying, look, go, jump. It's time. It's time. You've been at this for long enough now. It's time for something new. And that could be scary. Just like when we start a new job, it could be stressful. Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to perform enough? I'm different, I feel different now, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And just they're trying to make sense of their own internal power, personal power, and relying on the power of the energies, the power of their souls. That's not always an easy thing to do. And you can look at it this way in sports. One of the good example is a golf player. When the golf player does his swing, it's pure cellular memory, muscle memory. Energies in our soul are pretty much the same. Sometimes, like, our body wants to do something, but our soul is like, no, this is what you need to do. So calm down. And we need to rely on that, go through whatever it is that we need to go through, and come out of it on the other way, the other end, on the other side, and be like, oh, this is why I needed to go through. And I didn't need to worry. I just needed to let go and surrender and trust in my own power and wing it, improvise. So for people that are used to scripting everything, planning everything, this is going to be a difficult full moon because your plans are most probably not going to work out or be executed the way you want it to be. Just remember that it doesn't matter because things happen just the way they're supposed to happen. And when we want things a certain way, it's ego talk. So if you're able to just put that on the side and just wing it, just go with the flow, you're going to be a much happier person. And that's what the divine masculine is learning at this point, which is great. So is the divine feminine for that matter. She's also learning not to overdo it, Because some divine feminine have been like in this kind of waiting vibration. I'm waiting for things to happen. No, keep at it. Keep doing your things. Keep moving forward. And things are happening the way they're supposed to. That's it. That's all. And that's it. That's all for this energy update. Thank you for being here. You can follow me on social media at Indigo Girls Readings on Facebook, Indigo Girl 555 on Instagram. You can also reach me by email at indigogirl555 at gmail.com. Happy full moon. Happy forward movement. Happy change. Have fun. Have fun. And until the next time, be well.